Hello, remember me? Yeah, it's me, Will. It's been a couple of weeks since we last did one of these videos. Work kind of got busy for me. 18 shifts in 14 days, including a certain number of double shifts. Yeah, that'll do it. But it's taken me away from the various journalism's Patreon for a bit. But we're back and we're doing a podcast. Be dropping about noon hour-ish Tuesday, Australian Eastern Daylight Time. For those uninitiated, that's those of you who live around the capitals of Melbourne, Sydney, Canberra, Brisbane. You don't count. Anyhow, I have to go back to the last podcast that I did, which is about 2 weeks ago, give or take. Episode 54 of the I Just Said That podcast, and coming up on the episode Studio 54 edition, where you can walk into this club anytime you want. 3 articles, including 1 investigation. We're gonna, since the articles are a little bit older, seeing it took place during the first week of that fortnight, I'm going to give them a bit of lip service and acknowledge them and talk about it a little bit. But the lion's share of the podcast, coming up on Tuesday, noon hour-ish, Eastern Daylight Time in Australia, will concern a major analysis of the investigation that I wrote regarding how to fill work shortages. Now, there are 2 parties. Police and the federal government and the Morrison government. They think that introducing skilled migrants and international students, about 200,000 of so to be exact, and that's not a number I'm pulling out of my backside. That's a number that the federal government has announced. They think that's a way to fill shortages. The union movement, on the other hand, says, not so fast. We have about 1.9 million workers in Australia who are either unemployed or underemployed and could certainly use the work. So the 2 sides are at a bit of loggerheads about how to get the job done, what side, which is the better avenue to take, or maybe a combination of the 2. We're going to analyze that a bit on the podcast for a lion's share of the hour in which we're doing it. And by the way, I hope you've hit that damn bell up in the upper right-hand corner of the screen where you're seeing me right now. Hit that damn bell. Hit subscribe. You get every update here on my YouTube channel and anything that I happen to put forward. And I hope to be doing this a bit more often than once a week in the coming future. Subscribe to that. Subscribe to the other socials that are connected to the Patreon as well. Not just this YouTube channel, but there's also a LinkedIn page and also the dedicated Instagram, william.olson.journo. And also, support my Patreon. That's why we're here. I will provide a link to the Patreon on the comments in this particular YouTube segment. $5 a month, not a whole lot of money to part with every month. Weekly, it works out to be less than your standard Melbourne-style barista coffee. Whatever even if it's a weak, skinny decaf latte with 2 fake sugars. That's called a why bother, folks, in coffee parlance. I'll tell you why you should bother with the Patreon. $5 a month gets you every article, every investigation. You can initiate unlimited Q&A sessions with me on any of the content that I produce. You get every edition of the I Just Said That podcast, and you get every edition of the monthly trivia and the monthly newsletter, and so much more, as this Patreon is so ever evolving. Let me know what you think. Feedback is welcome with open arms at any time. And don't forget to hit that damn bell. We'll see you tomorrow about noonish. AEDT.